Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live, special Thursday or Tuesday afternoon, Toxically Masculine Tuesday edition with me, your host, Mike Barra, and TV's Blake Wally, somewhere east of California. Shut up, Charlie Ward. Get off my screen. How are you doing? So, how are you doing today? TV's Blake Wally. How you feeling?
Doing well. It's a great day out here, east of California. How are you?
Oh, I've had better days. I woke up with a bad migraine today and tried to sleep it off. Didn't really work, but now here I am, ready to do the show and kick some ass. Now, there are some interesting developments that I will have to say. Some of them a little bit political, at least in terms. Hi, Tamu. At least in terms. By the way, I wanted to clarify with Tamu. I told her something. I said something about sending me a picture. I just want everybody to know she was promising me a painting. So that's what I meant yesterday when I said that. Your job is forcing you to get vaxxed. I know that, Kim. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. Okay, but there's some interesting developments today, Blake, which I think are worth going on about and talking about. And I'm going to start here with our buddy, our friend of the show, Simon Parkes, posted today, President Trump may visit the White House. To my knowledge, he says, President Trump has been in the White House 3 times previously. I believe he means since he left the White House officially on Inauguration Day last year. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I am told he may well visit to make some calls in the morning. I don't know if he would arrive by Marine One or by car, or indeed when he might arrive. But there is more excitement than usual around the Florida team. Excitement might not be the right word. Perhaps a better word is tense expectations. Now, personally, this catches my eye. My painting will be sent this week, my dear. Well, good, Tamu. This catches my eye, Blake, because guess who told us that Donald Trump had been back and forth to the White House on multiple occasions? Now Jen did, and now Simon Parkes is reporting the same thing. So again, we have Jen and Simon reporting the same thing from 2 completely different sources, because I guarantee you Jen and Simon do not know each other. So just the simple fact that Jen says he's been back and forth to the White House lots of times, and Simon is aware of 3 of them, I think is pretty interesting, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've all uncovered the interregnum phenomenon, and that could very well be the case. And it could be for any number of reasons, I suppose. But it'll be interesting to see what that happens. If we can get some footage of it, that'd be great too.
Given that the current president, the alleged president, is out of town right now, he's overseas in Scotland at the Climate Fraud Summit. Why would President Trump go there or even be allowed there? Wow. I don't know who you are, but I'm blocking you. Jada's
wrote a book for us there. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, but I blocked her. Hopefully she does not come back. Anyway, so I'm going to turn the chat overlay off. Here's what was, but now then Jen on her philosophy Telegram channel started posting some really interesting stuff today from what's her name, Nancy Drew in Washington, D.C. Let's see what Nancy Drew's posted.
All right, so it is cold here in D.C. today. Not liking this cold at all. All right, so here's the thing. We got a couple of guys up on the roof. Watching everything that's going on right now. They have the fence up. You cannot go any closer right now. I'll talk to one of the Secret Service guys. He's told me for about another half an hour, which is pretty interesting. Why they have it closed off. Okay, so went by the Capitol. Capitol is super busy already. Lots of black SUVs, lots of activities. So I guess that's going to be the place to watch again today. Really quickly, as you can see, Ezra and his gang are not here. All right? Ezra and his gang are not here. Oh, Lord, please let me run into them today. Oh, good grief. Obviously, actually, okay, so I don't know how many of you are paying attention to the schedule. There is no Marine at the door today, all right? I did not expect to see one. Daddy T's schedule is very, very strange. Sleepy has him coming in at, or leaving at 5:55. Except his schedule doesn't show anything after midnight tonight, which would be the 3rd, right? But Daddy T's is empty today. It shows tomorrow only for a bit, but it shows that he's coming in at 1:25 in the morning. So guess who will be here at 1:25 in the morning? Yeah. Idiot me. I'm not sure why they have it closed off right now. Very, very interesting. They do have a few extra guys down at the gate down there. And they are working on the streetlights at the 17th Street gate on both sides. So that's a tour group up there. That is not Ezra and his gang. So I guess we'll find out if they're there today. And today, according to Ezra, would be their 14th day of hunger strike, except he's a support member. So, I cannot just, oh Lord, oh my goodness. Anyhow, all right, guys, I'm gonna shut down here. Oh gosh, I'm in rare form today, so I hope I don't run into them. Because, oh Lord, yesterday I maintained, I was so proud of myself. Because with this big fat mouth, oh my God, I just wanted to like tell them how.
Okay, quite obviously, Nancy Drew, whoever she is a smoker. We can tell that from listening to her voice. I don't know who Ezra is. It's not Ezra Cohen Watnick. I know that. Oh. But here's the thing. Normally, she said tour group, they were outside the White House. The White House was fenced off. Normally, when the president is out of town, is when they like to have tour groups come through. I've toured the White House twice. And both times the president was out of town. He was on some sort of foreign mission. So that's when they like to do it. Yet that's not happening today. So then she walks down the street and continues to film. And let's take a look at what she saw down the street. Oh, it's a motorcade. But the president's not, the alleged President Biden's not supposed to be back till 1:30 in the morning. So who's this?
Well. I just shut down for my live. Very interesting. Okay.
All right. So we had that, and then she caught up with them again later.
All right, that motorcade's going into the White House. That's why it's shut.
Here, let's rewind that.
All right, that motorcade's going into the White House. That's why it's shut. Oh boy. Actually, it's very interesting that they're going in the entrance to the Eisenhower building, not the White House. So very interesting. Now, where are the 4 military guys that were just standing here? Hi, honey. Man, I'm killing it. Nothing interesting over here. Yeah, never. Be safe, babe. That's my sweetie. One of the guys involved in my my jail experience. Okay. Very interesting.
Okay, so what we have here, Blake, as we piece this all together, what we have is Simon saying that Ezra was the name of a guy leading a protest yesterday. Thank you very much, Michelle Joy. We have a guy, we have Simon Parks saying that there is going to be a visit by President Trump to the White House on Wednesday. That could also be a feint, because if you say Wednesday, but you're really coming on Tuesday, makes a lot of sense. Then we find the White House is fenced off, which it normally is not. Then we find a motorcade of some kind entering the White House grounds. Now, they talked about the Eisenhower office building. That's adjacent to the White House, and there are tunnels underneath which lead directly to the White House. So I think it's one of two things. Either that is Kamala Harris sneaking into the White House to take over, or it could very well be, given that we're in the 11-1 to 11-6 window, it could very well be President Trump returning to the return of the king. I don't know. I just think that's all way too coincidental. What do you think? I wish we had Jen here to comment on this, but what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be optimistic and say I hope that is Trump and that he is coming back. And as the rightful victor of the 2020 his re-election that was stolen from him. And that would be some great news, and it would kind of go with that whole timeline there. So let's try to think positive and hope that's it. I think somebody said it could have been like a movie or something, but I don't know about that one. So I'm gonna stay with the optimism. Let's go Trump. That would be an epic ending. And while he's gone, I don't know if they bring out the motorcade for the VP, but I have no idea. I've seen a few of the motorcades in Vegas, but I don't know if they would do that much for the VP or not. That's a big ordeal moving all that traffic. So I'm not even actually sure where she is. I don't know if half the people or her own people even probably want to stay away from her. So
yeah, she's radioactive right now. So I find that more than a little coincidental that we have this weird closing off of the White House, a motorcade of some kind going there when we know Trump was on his way to Washington, D.C., or at least we think we know. Oh, Jennifer Falah's here. The motorcade was a decoy and Trump was there, but went in another entrance. Okay. See, it's almost like having Jen on the show without actually having Jen on the show. So, Jen, let's ask you this as long as you're in the chat. Or I could send you an invite if you want to come on real quick, but I'm sure your hair is not up to your normal standard, so probably not. But what I want to ask you, so is Donald Trump in the White House right now? Let's wait and see what Jen says. Everybody's watching.
Yeah. I mean, would he have privileges just by being a former president as well? Does he have some sort of
no, he's a private citizen. No, absolutely not. He must be cleared to be in the White House. So, if that's the case, then I think what we're looking at is it's possible he's there to be in position for, there's a secret compartmentalized information information facility below the White House. He could be in there. This could be it. This could be the takeover. This could be that very thing. But we'll wait and see what Jen says. Oh, Jen. Yes. Jen says yes. I have readings in a few. So he is in the White House right now. Okay. Well, I imagine that I will hear from Jen later. And she will tell me all about what's going on in the White House, and I will withhold it until tomorrow's show. He's in a lower level of the House. That's where the skiff is. Yep. Interesting. So I wonder what's going to happen when Joe Biden shows back up there. Maybe they're going to clamp him in irons and march him out in his poopy diapers. So we shall see. All right. Blake, one other thing that I think is newsworthy. What have I missed? Sounds like stuff. Sarah, it does look like stuff might be going down. And so you have to rewind the show and watch it. Okay. Other things that happened that I think are interesting is that to follow up in this, Phil G, did a live last night and it was interesting and stuff. But then he started getting a bunch of flack from a lot of people. Green uniforms are with him. That would be Marines. White House soon to be the Orange House in honor of Orange Man. So Phil Godlowski got a bunch of crap from a bunch of people yesterday. And so then he started posting on his Telegram today. Let me just show you real quick. He started posting a bunch of stuff to the effect, basically mocking all these other people. They're supposed to be supposedly some of the crazy people out on the edge of the truth movement were saying, hey, John F. Kennedy, not John F. Kennedy Jr., but John F. Kennedy, who wasn't dead, was going to be resurrected and reappear in Dealey Plaza today. So he started mocking a bunch of stuff, you know, update, the crescent oblong feature of JFK Jr. has been spotted per the Redneck Renegade. He was basically mocking people talking about Kobe Bryant coming back to life, Donald Trump giving JFK Jr. a piggyback ride around Dealey Plaza and all this stuff. And basically what he finally said is, look, I've had enough of these people who have been not only attacking him, but are doing damage to the truth movement. So I'm going to play this video for you too.
So I know a lot of you have been watching my announcements channel over the past several minutes now and saw all my posts in regards to the ongoing events at Dealey Plaza today. I want you all to know that I'm not proud of doing what I just did, and that's probably the first time I've ever done such a thing publicly to another truther. In fact, that was the exact epitome of what I dislike to happen between truthers. But let me tell you why I did it. People like ML and Negative 48 and Redneck Renegade and Mike Penny. And I feel bad for Mike because he surrounded himself with these people, and apparently he just doesn't know any better. These people, these reporters that have tens of thousands of people following them, many of those tens of thousands are hanging on every word that Mike Penny says and that Redneck Renegade say and ML says and Negative 48 say. They are relying upon those individuals for truthful, accurate information. And they are being defrauded. They are giving people like me and like others a bad name. This is how the term conspiracy theory got invented. The reason people call others conspiracy theorists and poke fun at them for their wild theories is because of exactly what is happening today in Dallas. You literally have Mike Penny on his live stream saying that he just met Dale Earnhardt Jr.
He means Dale Earnhardt, who's dead. But
you have Negative 48 saying that JFK Jr. is about to not only come back to Dealey Plaza, but also be reinstated as President of the United States. And this is to happen today.
he means JFK.
Reinstated as President of the United States after Donald Trump resigns. Does that sound funny? Because to me, that sounds like bullshit. And those statements are the reason why people like me don't get taken seriously with the things that we say. They're the reason why people like me are cast in a negative light. And the whole truth movement is sidetracked. And these people should be absolutely ashamed of themselves for what they're doing. And I've had enough of this.
Okay, people are saying the videos are not running. Is that true that you guys are not seeing the video? Blake, are you seeing the video?
I am not, but I know my internet's wonky, so.
No, it's a different window, but at least we're hearing the audio. Okay, so because it's running fine on my screen and it should be sharing everything that's on there. So this is a point that I think is very valid by Phil. And I don't want this to be the Phil G cheer show because it's not what it is. I have questions about everything, Phil. Christian sees the video. So some people are seeing the video, some people not. I wonder, if it's people on YouTube that are seeing it, can't see shit. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It was just Phil sitting in his car driving along like this. But he makes a point, and this is why it's very important that this is why I go after the 9/11 conspiracy nutbags. Not that there's not a conspiracy about 9/11. There was, but it was planes that brought the buildings down, you idiots. And why I go after the fake moon landing nutbags who don't know anything about science or physics or space travel or aerospace engineering or anything. Because bad conspiracy theorists like them give good conspiracy theorists like me a bad name. And Phil is saying the same thing. Bad conspiracy theorists like Mike Penny and ML and Negative 48 give good ones, people that try to be reliable and try to be consistent like him, a bad name. And I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly, Blake. And I guess what I'm kind of wondering from you is, people actually believed that Dale Earnhardt, who's dead, and John F. Kennedy, whose head got blown off in Dealey's Plaza. I mean, there's literally film of his head exploding. We're going to show up today at Dealey Plaza. I wish if I'd have thought about it, who the fuck is Mike Penny? Some guy that apparently has a following of like 100,000 people that Phil did his show about a month ago. And then he turned on Phil because a bunch of his moderators didn't like Phil. So, to me, Blake, this is pooping in a punch bowl. What you do is it's the poison. You basically, it's the fruit of the poison well, because what you do is you put people like this out there to speak for the movement, to define the movement as something completely other than what it is. And so people will not believe in it. So I don't know, any thoughts? And do we think it's right for me to tell people what I think is the truth about 9/11 and the moon landings?
No, I think it's great. We all got to try to keep each other in check. And a lot of these people
I don't know who ML is.
I never heard of. I mean, I've been into this movement for, a decade now, and I thought I kind of knew most of who the players were, whether I followed them or not. But like some of those names are new. Like Mike Penny, I'm not even familiar with. This Negative 48 came out of somewhere a few months ago. I'm not even going to give him the time of day because it's just, he's a total fake. I don't like the name. He's not credible to me. And they're just the total grifters, and they are making the movement look bad. Like, where did they came out of nowhere? So they might just be like feds or something. I don't know where they found these people, and they're trying to make a name for themselves. And they did this stupid publicity stunt in Dealey Plaza. I didn't know anything about that, but of course, I was looking at some of the liberal blue check cult members on Twitter, and they're having a field day, going, "Oh, these people, all these QAnon people are coming over to see, JFK's coming back," and it's just like JFK Jr. I mean, but it is ridiculous, and it's sad, but yeah, we'll try to keep it honest, and I'm glad you brought that up so we can talk about it. And
yeah, I mean, I believe Jr. I'm one of the people that said, look, Vincent, this guy pretending to be Vincent Fusca is John F. Kennedy Jr., and that is Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. I am down with that. Phil, I don't accept everything Phil says. Phil believes in the flat earth, which I think is nonsense. I mean, Jen, I had Jen again last night. Jen, can you ask Gabriel or Michael if the earth is a globe or if it's flat? And they said, no, it's a sphere. It's a sphere. So that's nonsense. But I don't watch Phil for his thoughts on physics. I watch him for what he knows about what's going on with the plan and on the inside, which I believe, is well connected to, and that he knows, stuff about. As Jennifer's pointing out in the chat on Phil's live, he said that his sources said that the cabal has people within the movement to misinform, and they are paid to mislead, and that's what he was exposing today. I knew this Negative 48 guy who just sprung out of nowhere 6 months ago. I knew he was phony. But they try to get people to believe in all this idiotic stuff, because here's what happens. When I say, oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist and I wrote books about the moon, they're like, oh, you think we faked the moon landing? That's, of course, what they go to. And I'm like, no, it's exactly the opposite of that. I say absolutely that we went to the moon, but that we went there for alien technology. So it basically, you put out the fake conspiracy theory so that everyone who has a thought about conspiracies is blanketed with that label of the idiotic stuff. That's exactly why you do it. And I think, unfortunately, in the truther movement, it's becoming more, more and more effective. How do you get 100,000 followers in 6 months? Deep state help. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Because anybody who's speaking the
into
truth,
oblivion.
yeah, anybody who's speaking the truth, like we try to, is their followers are suppressed.